All right. All right. Hello, hello. This is Melissa, your insurance exam queen here. And we are coming in hot with 100 people in the Zoom room, over 300 of you registered, but I guess I only have room for 100. So that's where we're at. Okay, perfect. So, and you guys are all over the place. We've got people taking the life and health exam, property, casualty, personal lines. And I feel like we got probably every state in the room represented. We've got Texas, Florida, Illinois. I'm in Illinois. Yay, Illinois. California, Oregon, Rhode Island. Yes, this is amazing. You guys are all over the place. You guys are ready to pass this exam. Can you give me a 1 if you have not yet tested? So give me a 1 if you have not yet tested, and give me a 2 if you are testing again, if you failed before. Okay, we've got a lot. Okay, so first, let me make sure for those of you who are giving me a 2, it is normal to fail. I hate that, but that is the reality of the situation, is that it is normal for people to fail because it's so dang hard. They do not help you with understanding how to pass this exam. That's why I'm here. I want to make sure that you guys can pass the exam. So it can be a struggle. I have seen on average, it takes a person at least 3 times before they can pass. And I have seen up to 16, 20 times of people trying to pass the exam. And some states are harder than other states. I don't like to set ideas and tell you this state is harder, but Louisiana is harder, Kentucky is harder, and then states like Washington is harder because it's big on state law. Virginia, Maryland are also big on state law, so they can be a little bit harder. But I would say probably Louisiana and Kentucky, South Carolina are probably some of the trickier ones. So if you're in those states and you've taken it multiple times, know that you're not alone, that it's definitely a struggle. And honestly, any state, I mean, anybody can be a struggle with passing this exam. So my goal of these classes is to just to give you guys some guidance on what I have found as the best way of passing this exam. So just so you guys know, if you are not familiar with my background and my experience, I was a middle school teacher for most of for my early 20s. And I loved teaching, but I just did not love the whole education system and telling kids to sit down and shut up and sit in their chairs. I was like, that's not my vibe. And I also really didn't like the low pay that came with teaching. And but I used to sell insurance while going to college to become a teacher. So I had insurance in my background. And I would actually go back and forth between teaching and selling insurance because I'm like, well, I love teaching, but I can't do the low pay and I can't, yell at kids all day. And so I'd go to sell insurance, but I'm like, I really miss teaching, and I would flip flop back and forth. And I landed in 2017 on a perfect job, which was teaching people how to pass the insurance exam. And who is using Exam FX? Give me a 3 if you are using Exam FX right now to study for your exam. So 1, 2 people, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, a good amount of you. Okay, so Exam FX is known as one of the pre-licensing providers. So if you need to take the insurance exam, about half of the states require that you must take a state-approved course. And ExamFX is one of the state-approved companies, and I got a job teaching for them. And they told me that I would have maybe 1 to 2 classes a month, if that, for teaching. But they called me to start teaching the classes, and I did so well. I had a 100% pass rate, which was absolutely unheard of. I taught a live class. I taught 30 people in a room, and I got a 100% pass rate. And they're like, what is going on? And then they started using me like crazy. And I was flying all around the country every week, teaching the insurance exam to people who worked for large insurance companies, and they would hire a teacher to come in. I would come and teach them on Monday and Tuesday, and people were passing by Friday. So I can get people to pass the exam in a very short amount of time. And I was doing this for 3 to 4 years before I decided to do it on my own, because I wanted to be able to help a lot more people than just their customers. So I started the Insurance Exam Queen business, started the YouTube channel, and we've blown up from here, and the business has been amazing. And we have helped so many people pass the exam. but I have years of experience, not only teaching, but then also teaching the insurance exam. And in doing that, I got a lot of experience about what the struggle is for people with passing the exam. So most of you are basically told, take this course, this state-approved course. ExamFX is who I worked for, but there's also Excel, there's 80 Banker, there's Kaplan, there's WebCE, there's Insurance Coach, there's America's Professor. There's a handful of different state-approved courses. Now, currently, there is not one course on the market that I would say is awesome. I am not a fan of the way that these courses are structured and laid out for you guys, and because so many of you fail the exam. Nationally, on average, it's a 50% fail rate. So when you go to take the exam, you are, and some states can be more or less, like South Carolina is like 23% pass. So that means about 80% of the people who take the test will fail the first time. And the pass rates can, like I said, be better or worse, but on average is about a 50%. So half of you, when you go to take the test, will fail. And many of you will need to take it three or four times. So with these state-approved courses, though, you are required in half the states to be able to take them. And you're told, take this course, take the practice test, and you'll be able to pass. Give me a 4 if you have been told all you need to do is take the practice test over and over again. And give me a 4, 5, a 45 if that has not worked for you. Yeah, okay. So many of you are told, especially by the people who hire you, and I'm so sorry that this is the worst advice given to you guys, is that you just need to take practice test after practice test after practice test. But this is simply not work. It does not work for the majority of people. There are a handful of people who can take the practice test and extrapolate the information and be able to then pass the state exam, but it is very rare. And it is not the majority of people who can actually do that. So one of the reasons I started the Insurance Exam Queen business was to provide people with a way of getting through these state-approved courses with actually understanding the material and being able to pull off a pass. So I just want to briefly go over some of the ways that some of the things that you can do to help you secure a pass and how I can help you do that. Emily, I've been taking the simulated exam on Excel over and over again, and I failed 5 times. I'm so glad I'm doing all this before finding a job, because yeah. And a lot of you are relying on passing the test in order to keep or get a job. And so the pressure is on. And so I completely understand that. The majority of people that I worked with when I was working for ExamFX, they were already hired. And if they didn't pass, they would lose their job. So I was working with people who were under immense pressure. They had a boss sitting in the room watching them while they studied and would be like on them if they were looking somewhere else. And I had to be the bright light in the room and be like, it's okay, listen to me, I will help you pass, it'll all be fine. And I was like, I promise as soon as I start teaching, you're gonna have a sigh of relief. And it always happened. About like 30 minutes in, people would just go like, and they would relax and like, okay, this is starting to make a lot more sense. I really like to take my middle school experience of breaking things down super simply with the very difficult testing material and put it all together and help you pass the exam. All right, so let me share my screen here really quickly. Okay. All right, so you guys should be able to see. Yes, okay. So with passing the exam, these are the major points that I like to tell people in order to help make sure that they can pass the exam. The first thing is being excited to study and pass, okay? So, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here with my Zoom meeting, but I think you guys, yes, okay, looks fine, okay. All right, so the first most major important thing is being excited to study and pass. So like we just talked about, many of you are under pressure to be able to pass the exam. You may, like, if I don't get this job, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. I need to feed my kids. Or like, I only got 2 times and it takes people 3 times. And what am I going to do? I see you guys nodding your head. Like, this pressure is crazy. As crazy as it is, feeling that pressure and thinking about it is only going to hinder your study. So you have to take on this mindset of being excited to study and pass. And one of the things that I also like to tell people is that nothing that is meant for you can be taken from you. So if you have this job opportunity and you fail and they fire you, it wasn't meant for you. That's not your job. It was very possible that that was simply the opportunity for you to learn about the insurance career to begin with. Not everybody's first like think about your first boyfriend or your first girlfriend and how well that worked out for you, okay? The first thing isn't always the best thing. So our first opportunity in insurance may just be the fact of us knowing that this is a potential career field, that this is possible for us, and it introduced you to it. And now that you know about it, you can get picky and you can find a company that's in better alignment with you. And maybe, instead of property and casualty, you really would be better in life or health, but it simply introduced you to the idea. So one, you've got to remove the pressure by knowing and I literally repeat this to myself over and over again in my life for everything. What is meant for me cannot be taken from me. If it is meant for me, it cannot be taken. So if it's taken, that wasn't for me. Okay. Everything is working out in my favor. That's another thing I repeat to myself all the time. Everything is working out in my favor. Everything is working out in my favor. Everything is working out in my favor. And whether I can see it and understand it in this moment, I know and trust that there will be a time where I will see and understand that it all worked out in my favor. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where it's super crazy and then a bunch of stuff happened and then you look back and you go, oh, I can understand why it happened that way. It all makes sense now. Same thing with this job, with this career opportunity. You've got to trust that it's all working out. So if I'm excited to study and pass and I use two armors, I got my armor on. One is what is meant for me cannot be taken from me. And two, everything is working out in my favor. So even if I fail, I have to trust that that's working out in my favor, because that means that I'm losing a job opportunity that wasn't actually meant for me. And now I get to find a better opportunity that is meant for me, something that is more in alignment for me. And a lot of times you have to understand that the insurance career, there's so many ways that you can be working in insurance. You could be working at a call center. Give me a 1 if you've got a call center job. You could be working by yourself with a team. Give me a 2 if you're going to be working with a team of people who have recruited you. You could be working in a small local agency. Give me a 3 if you're working in a small local agency. Give me a 4 if you've got a remote job where you can sit at home and sell on the computer. There's so many, I want to pull up my chat so I can see it. There's so many ways of working in the insurance field. Yeah, see, we're all over the place. There's so many ways of working in the insurance field. And I lost my track because I was thinking about you guys having jobs. Oh, whatever job opportunity you're presented, there's a million different ways that you can go about it. So you may be introduced with a W-2 job and a call center, and that feels good. But then you realize you can make a lot more money doing it commission and doing it on your own and being your own boss. So you have to trust that it's all going to work out, that everything will be in your favor. And when you've got that mindset, it really helps to relieve the pressure of passing. So be excited to study and pass. I have two videos on my YouTube channel. That one is called About to Study Motivation Audio. I haven't completed, to be 100% honest, I haven't completed this presentation, but I know I have this side ready, so I'm going to show it to you. We have 2 YouTube videos. One is the studying mindset, and one is the about to test. Every time you sit down to study, so even if I study in the morning and then I study in the afternoon, but I took a break in between, every time you sit down, you should listen to this about to study, because it's going to help relieve the pressure and it's going to help you get excited. Because if you're sitting down to study and you're stressed out, how much information do you think you're going to actually keep in your brain? How much information will actually make sense to you if you're stressed out? Hardly any. Everything will be confusing. It'll be frustrating. You'll read a sentence over and over again. If you're carrying the stress into your studying session, it's not going to work very well. So listen to this audio to relieve the stress. Repeat your mantras. Nothing that is meant for me can be taken from me. Everything is working out in my favor. And that's going to help you to learn the information to secure that path. Then right before you take your test, on the way to the testing center, play, and I always encourage you to get there a little bit early so that you have time to sit in your car for a minute and catch your breath. But get to the testing center and then listen to the about to test audio. And that one will help you get excited and pumped and ready to go in for a pass. And and honestly, I tell people, like, go in there like I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass this exam. I'm so excited to pass this exam. Like, just go in there with that type of energy, and it'll carry you through. Like I tell people, sometimes they'll be like, oh, I got that question wrong. How do you know? You don't know. All you know is that you didn't feel 100% confident. But what if you felt 100% confident about every question, even if you're making it up? Like, pretend works. Placebo works. So like, if I'm like, oh, I got that one right. Oh, I guessed that one right. Ooh, I guessed that one right. That energy is going to serve you far better than the energy of, oh, I got that one wrong. Oh my God, I got that one wrong. Oh my God, I'm going to fail. Oh my God, I'm going to fail. And then you carry that. That's not going to help you. That was the other point I remembered that I lost a second ago. There are many different ways of working in the insurance industry. And a lot of it, though, is going to require strong character and being able to handle rejection. Because if you have specifically, let's say you have a commission-based job where you only make money if somebody buys a policy, you are likely to have to quote multiple people throughout the day, but not every person is going to buy. Some people will, some won't. You may have one day of no sales, but then you can have the next day of all sales. You might have a week of no sales, and then the next week of all sales. It could look like anything. But if you have a day of no sales and you allow that to impact your ability to get up the next day and go at it again, you don't have what it takes to be an insurance agent. So some of you may fail this exam until you build that character and that tenacity to be like, I can handle rejection and I'm okay. If you get it fail on your paper and you crumble and you fall and you're like, I give up and I'm not meant for this, you're not. You don't have what it takes to be an insurance agent. And to be a successful insurance agent, you've got to get up and say, I can receive all rejections all day long today and still show up my best self tomorrow. Because I'm not relying upon sales one day. I am building a career over a lifetime. I am building a financial legacy over a lifetime. And if I judge it on this one single day and decide that this one single day ruins all of that, then you're not an insurance agent. You don't have that capacity, right? So even like my business, I'm 100% commission. If you guys don't buy my stuff, I don't make money. If I don't sell it to you, I don't make money. There's no company paying me money. It's all on me to make all the money that I make in this business. And when I see sales one day dip or go down from what they're normally at, if I'm like, oh my God, my sales dip, my business is over. Would you guys want me to leave and turn it all off? Would say like, no more YouTube. I had bad sales today. Like, it's done. You know, I'm like, okay, well, I bet tomorrow will be triple. Like, that's just the energy I have. Okay. You've got to have this energy of, I can handle rejection, knowing that it's going to be fulfilled. And I am focused on a career over a lifetime, not on one single day. Okay. So that was my point I wanted to make earlier, is that if you fail multiple times, sometimes it's just to build your character of being able to handle rejection and getting up and doing it again. And when you can show God, you show the universe, when you can show up and say, I've got this, even though I failed 3 times, I'm going to go the 4th time. I've got this. I'm going to pass. You're much more likely to pass than to be like, this isn't meant for me. This is dumb. I don't even know why I'm doing this. If that's your mentality, get out now. It ain't going to work. But I do have a playlist on my YouTube channel called the Mindset Playlist. And that's where these 2 videos are housed. And it can help shift your mindset into seeing life more positive rather than the fear and the doubt and the worry. Okay, so the next thing, other than being excited to study and pass, is to know your state's most tested topics. So one of the things they don't exactly tell you in these state-approved courses is that certain topics are more tested than other topics. If you're taking life and health, give me a 2 if you really hate the taxes section that you're learning. If you've gone through taxes and you cannot stand it, give me a 2. All right, I got a couple of 2s. Taxes are a teeny tiny percent. You can fail all of taxes and be totally fine. How many of you, give me a 3 if you really hate commercial insurance? If you're doing property and casualty and you hate commercial, guess what? In most states, asterisks, most states, you can pass the entire exam with hardly knowing any commercial. But the courses you take won't tell you that. They give you, this is the chapter, this is the quiz, you must pass this before you can move on. And they won't tell you that this barely shows up on the test. They're like, they treat everything as if it's all 100% testable, and that's just not true. Okay. So what I have created, if you go to, and I'll drop the link here in the comments right now, and I think you guys can see that new screen. Yes, you can. All right, let me drop this in the comments so you can go there yourself and look up your specific state. But on my website, if you go to either property or casualty or life and health, whichever test you're taking, and we don't have it adjusters right now, but if you're an adjuster, go to property and casualty because you're going to be learning property and casualty with the adjusting exam. But if you go to recommendations, okay, so I'm following PC right now, but it looks the same between life and health, where you scroll down to your state. I'm going to scroll down to Texas. And I tell you what the most important things are. So your state approved course will not tell you the most important things. I will tell you the most important things. The most important, and this is honestly true for most states, and insurance terms related concepts, also known as general insurance, types of property like dwelling and homeowners. And as long as you can understand dwelling and homeowners, you don't have to focus too much on commercial policies. We talk about, math. There is some math on the exam. However, math will not make or break you. I can teach you the math. We have YouTube videos on the math and stuff. But you can read this and you can even download it as this adorable PDF. So you can keep it on your computer if you don't want to have to keep coming to the website. Now, additionally, if you go to, and let me pull this up here as well. Yeah. I also in the Facebook group. So is anybody not in the Facebook group? Because you all really need to join the Facebook group. Let me make sure I copy that link for you now. Inside the Facebook group, where's my chat? There it is. Okay. So right now it's not available anywhere else but the Facebook group. Okay. And I have had people make a Facebook profile just so they can get into the group. Hopefully most of you are on Facebook. I'm a geriatric millennial. Facebook is my jam. I don't like to be anywhere else. I'm Facebook. So anyway, in the Facebook group under the files section, I have every state outline available. Okay. And I'm going to show you an example of one. So this is Texas. Says North Carolina, but it said Texas up here. I don't know why the file says North Carolina. But this is the state outline. So some of them look a little bit different, but it'll always kind of tell you like this is life, right? So this is a life exam. If you scroll, you'll find the other exams. So like this is the life and health exam. And if you scroll a little bit more, you will find the property and casualty exam. Okay. So like you can scroll, a lot of them, they're all in one page or they may be separate pages. But let me just kind of break down real quickly. Let me go to the top here. Okay. So in the life exam, it says types of policies and it has a number right here, 15. What this means is this is how many questions on the exam will be about types of policies. So only 15 questions on types of policies, and then it will tell you what is a part of types of policies. Okay. Yes, this is in the Facebook group under the files section. So if you're in the Facebook group, and if you're on your phone, you just have to like scroll along, like your phone will show you discussion and featured. If you scroll along that bar, files will pop up, okay? So files, underneath files, and you can click it by file name and it puts it into ABC order. So you see when I click this, it puts it in ABC order, so it's much easier to find. You have to click the link, it'll take you to a post, and then you have to click the document and it will download it to your computer, okay? But so let me show you an example of Texas again. Okay, so it says types of policies, 15 total questions, and these are the topics under types of life. So these are the topics that you will get 15 questions on. Now, me having taught this exam in multiple states for multiple years, I even know that of all of these topics, they're way more likely to ask you about term versus whole. And that half of the questions will be just about term versus whole. And that would be the major focus. So I have created, and we'll talk more about it, but the best way that I can help you pass the exam is I've created a class series of videos that teach you all the major tested topics, and I focus on the most tested topics. And it focuses on term versus whole, because I know that even though it says 15 questions, there's more than 15 topics here, but they just really love to ask term versus whole. I just know that because I have so much experience, doing this. Then it says you have policy provisions and riders. That's also 15 questions. And then it will tell you the topics underneath that. So one of the ways that I actually recommend studying is getting a copy of your state outline. And it is Googleable. And it is, if you're not in the Facebook group and you want to find it, whoever you're testing with, Pearson, Prometric, PSI, somewhere on their website, when you go to sign up for the test, is a place to download it. It might be called a candidate bulletin or candidate information, but there is the outline available for every state. Some people struggle to find it, which is why I grabbed all of them and put them in the Facebook group. That's the only place that they're housed right now from me, but you can find them online. You just got to search them. But I would recommend printing off your state outline and going through it and saying, do I feel comfortable with these topics? Like if I look at the word grace period, what do I know about that? Do I know anything about that? And so one of the things I talked about taxes, retirement and other insurance concepts. This is the taxes. It's only 8 questions. It's a much smaller, it's half the size of types of life, of types of provision. And when you need only a 70% to pass, it's not super important. You can forget all of taxes and still be fine, okay? Let me walk through the property and casualty one just a little bit so you guys can see that. So property and casualty, 22 questions for types of policies, which includes homeowners, dwelling, and commercial policies, plus flood and other policies like earthquake, whatever. And like if you don't need 100% of these 22 questions, if you can focus on homeowners and dwelling, you're going to get half of these right. And if you're really strong in other areas like insurance terms related concepts, which is basically just definitions, and if you're really strong in policy provision and contract law, which is also just definitions, you can make up for not knowing commercial by knowing definitions really well. And again, this is why I've created my Gold Class Series package to focus on the simple things. I really like to keep it simple and easy to memorize. And so when we're looking at the exam and there's a topic that is really tricky for people and they don't understand it, I can teach it, yes. But if it's not easy to memorize and we can study something else that is a lot easier to memorize, let's get our 70% in that, right? We don't need anything more, unless Michigan, I think, is like 72, 75. But most states are 70%. We don't need A's and B's. We can get a C. A C's get degrees. All you need is a 70. It don't matter. All you need is a 70. So get your 70% from the easy topics, okay? So get your state outline, know what topics are there. And again, go through it. Do I know what conditions are? Conditions are the rules, duties, obligations, ways of behaving, right? Do I remember that? What is the declaration page? The declaration page is the who, the what, the where, the when about this policy. Okay, so those are the state outlines. All right, so let's come back to this. So know your state's most tested topics, and then focus on the most tested topics. If a topic, and I kind of already said this before, but if a topic is difficult and it makes up a small percent, why spend time on it? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of frustration. It's annoying and irritating. So why even focus on it? People say, well, I just need to understand it. No, you don't. Because your real job, there's a difference between real world and test world, and they're not the same. The test is a lot different than real life. And you just have to take the test to get into the real life. And once you can pass the real life, the test don't matter. Okay. Number 4, learning versus practice testing. It is so much more important to learn the material than it is to take practice test after practice test after practice test. The most common experience of frustration that I would see happen when I worked at Exam FX, because I would answer student emails. So not only did I go and teach these people in person, but I also answered student emails from all of their customers, rather than just the ones I was working with teaching live in person. And so many of the emails would come in and they would say, I passed my practice test with an 80, but I failed the state with a 50. What the heck happened? I was told all I needed to do was pass my practice test and I should pass the state exam, but that didn't happen. And that was one of the most common experiences people would have. They would go in so excited, oh, I got an 80%. I'm so excited. I'm going to be able to pass. And then they would see a 50, 60% and be like, oh my God, I didn't know anything. And they would just be so deflated. And then why would they go back and study the same material that didn't help them the first time? So I always wanted to stress with people that is more important to learn than it is to do practice tests. Another reason for that is the practice tests in your courses are not worded the same as the state exam. It is very rare to find a state-approved company with questions that are worded like the state exam. There is one company that does it better than the rest, and that would be Excel. So, and I'm not encouraging, if you already have Kaplan, you already have AD Banker, don't buy another course. Don't waste more money on a state-approved course that doesn't make any sense. But if you haven't yet gotten one, or you have Excel, you can rely a little bit more on your practice questions because they are better to the state, in my experience, to the state outline than most places. And because I got a 3-star review on it, Michigan and Kaplan apparently go well together. So there was a guy who left a 3-star review and said, Melissa told me that the questions won't match, but for my Michigan Kaplan exam, they did. So if you have Kaplan and you're in the state of Michigan, you can expect the questions to be similar. But it is very rare that whatever your practice questions are going to be what you see on the state exam. And honestly, most practice tests are harder. So AD Banker, way harder than your state exam. I had a platinum student. So platinum means that you can actually talk to me while you're studying. And she was like, I have AD Banker. She would send me pictures of some of their quiz questions. I'm like, you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. And she's like, are you sure this is nuts? You're telling me half the questions don't even matter. I'm like, yeah, half of those questions don't matter. Trust what I say, follow my videos. And she pulled off a pass the first time, no problem. Okay. So a lot of the times the questions are a lot harder. Okay. When you are learning the information, handwriting your notes is amazingly powerful, even if you never come back to read them again. So especially when if you're watching my YouTube videos, you're watching any other videos, if you can write, even the gold videos, if you're writing your notes, it helps to sink the information into your brain. There are literally studies on it. You can find the research that says handwriting notes is far better for learning than typing or no note writing. Okay, so write notes. One of the coolest people that I've met in this space helping to pass the exam is Will. I always say his name wrong. It's like Wilfredo. He's got an O at the end. But he took both the property and casualty, life and health in Texas. All he used was my stuff. He tried one of the courses, I think, for property and casualty. I don't remember who he tried, but he gave up because it wasn't working. He only watched my videos, and he had an entire spiral notebook filled with my notes, and he passed the first time with all 4 exams. And he is an advocate. Just write everything she says, write what she says, draw the charts that she says, draw the notes that she says. Handwriting is powerful to unlock this information. All right, next thing is listen to videos on repeat. So like if you go to my YouTube channel, just go to playlists. People are like, what videos do I watch in what order? Playlists, just go to the playlist, listen to the whole thing. Don't even worry about being able to see it, just listen to it. We've had people say they listen while they're in the shower, they listen while they're cooking. Some people have said they listen while they went to bed, and it just helped to sink the information into their brain. The next big thing is to trust yourself. And this goes back to the idea of everything is working out in my favor. Nothing that is meant for me can be taken from me. Trust yourself. Doubting yourself and worrying about it doesn't serve you. It puts your brain into fight or flight, which means you can't think or access your information. And so if you can trust yourself, I've got this, I feel good about this, I've worked hard, I've studied hard, that is going to serve you far better than telling yourself you're dumb and you're stupid and you can't remember and you don't understand. If that's your story, you're likely to see it fail. But if your story is, I study hard, I've got this, I know what I'm doing, I'm learning what I need to learn, I'm writing the notes I need to write, I'm watching the videos I need to watch, I've got this, that's going to serve you much better for a pass. The night before the exam, this is one of the biggest questions I have, is what do I need to cram the night before the exam? Nothing. You don't need to cram anything. Relax. If you're telling God and the universe, I've got this, I can relax, that energy is going to serve you far better than I've got to cram because I don't know it all. If you have the energy of I got to cram because I don't know it all, you're telling God, you're telling the universe, I'm not ready to pass. Okay. So the energy of relaxing, much, much better than the energy of cramming. Okay. The last thing is go for gold. So like I said, I have done this for years and years and years. And I have made videos for life, health, property, casualty, which works for personal lines, teaching you the most common, most tested topics in a way that is easy to understand. And I also like embed the memory into your brain. So like you can go through my Google, if you go to Google Maps and you read my reviews, people will say, I heard you while I was taking the test. Melissa's voice was in my head. I heard her say, aleatory, unequal exchange. I will say stupid things, funny things, or I will simply repeat it over and over again while I'm teaching. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. And when I say that over and over again, it just helps to sink it into your brain. So, and again, my experience is I would teach people Monday and Tuesday, and they'd be passing by Friday because they would learn from me Monday and Tuesday, and then they would go through their course and take their quizzes, and then they would pass their exam on Friday. So, and also right now we have this crazy special going on. Give me just a second. Let me get the right screen up. Okay, so I'm super excited to announce this, and I believe Dale is here. Dale, are you here? Okay, let me find the right screen. Here we go. Okay. All right, here we are. Share screen, share number three. Okay. Okay, so one of the cool things that I'm super excited about, and we do actually have it for life and health too, but I don't think I don't know, we'll have to talk about, I'm gonna have to talk to my team about that because I don't think we have a bundle. I think, yeah, whatever. Right now, if you're taking property and casualty, we have a crazy cool bundle. So Dale, I don't know if Dale's in here or if he's not, I missed the chat room. Where's the chat? Okay, so Dale is somebody who started studying, just like Angela, the ultimate study buddy. It's crazy how this happens. They were studying for their test and they're like, I really love this information. This information makes a lot of sense to me. Yes, Dale is here. Perfect. Okay. So I might bring him on in a minute. So he loved this information and then he started helping people in the Facebook group for free. So if you happen to have talked to Dale in the Facebook group, he may have helped you. And every person that he was able to spend time with passed their exam the next time. And one of the things that he would do is he'd say, okay, Melissa teaches you this, and I'm going to help confirm this knowledge and help you sink it in. I'm sorry, there's a tech question in there, but I can't answer it. What he is going to do is not only will you have gold, but for a 2-week study period from July 8th to July 20th, the goal is that you watch the gold video and then you have a session with Dale where he's going to help make sure that we sink in the knowledge and that you confirm it and that you can maybe practice how this would show up on the state exam. And right now this is bundled. How much is it? I don't know. If you enroll in the course, it's $197. So you get $97 gold and then you have 2 weeks of live classes basically for that other 100. I'm going to drop that link in the comments now. The other thing that I'm super excited about is I haven't taught in a while because I had the baby a year ago and she's exclusively breastfed and I've been on demand milking cow and I've also just been getting familiar with motherhood and stuff like that. But I have some availability now and we have support where I'm able to step away for a day and teach boot camp style. So if we what I like to do is you come for 2 days. So just like that Monday and Tuesday, where I would teach people everything passed by Friday, I do that in a weekend. So you would come with me all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And we have two going, we have the PNC boot camp, which is the dates are the 20, sorry, my mom brain, I don't remember everything now, but I remember the insurance exam stuff. Don't worry about that. That shit's on lock. But we have July 20th and July 21st. It's going to be 10 a.m. to 6. All boot camps are 10 to 6 Central Time. And that one is also $197, and it will also include gold as well. So not only will you have the live boot camp with me, where you can ask me questions live, and I'm so excited, I'm using brand new curriculum. We have created the most amazing presentations. Like if you guys are familiar with my style on YouTube and any of my videos, I handwrite everything like a whiteboard. We have turned those into beautiful animations. And the boot camps will be the first time that I'm using those presentations to teach with. And it comes with the most amazing student notes. Like these are, I have to show you a sneak peek. Give me a second. Let me find a sneak peek because these are crazy cool. So let me see if I could share this with you real quick. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. All right, I think I can show it this way, maybe. Okay, so look, these will be like a PDF printed version, but you could see, I don't know if I can. No, that's not helping. I don't know how to use, I am not the one who makes these because I struggle with the technology of this stuff, but we have student notes that with all of this information that I teach typed out, and they are so freaking beautiful and amazing. And then the presentations that I have that go with them, phenomenal. I'm super, super excited about it. And so the boot camps will be the first time that I am sharing that information and using those presentations. So you will have the regular gold, which is $97. And again, if you can get gold at $97, that's perfect. It teaches you all the videos, but some people struggle to go through them by themselves and watch them. And that's why Dale what he's offering is so powerful because you'll be able to be with a group of people and be able to interact with people. You still want that live classroom type feel. And so that'll be available. And then these presentations are so cool. Let me show you a quick, some of these. This is a life and health one, but it comes with graphics and animations. And like, instead of my crazy handwritten chicken scratch notes that you're like, what did she say? It's actually all typed out and beautiful. So I'm super excited about that. And that's for both life and health and property casualty. The new curriculum is available for both. So the PNC is happening the 20th and the 21st. The life is happening the 13th and the 14th. So in a couple weeks from now. But at a minimum, like, let's say you're like, I'm sure I don't even have, you're saying 197. I done already spent $400 or $500 on these classes and they didn't work from other people. I have other stuff available. We also have like bronze at 27. So if you go to like your recommendation, so let's say you go to Texas and you're like, what do I need? Or let's go to Kansas. I tell you, we've got gold, which is perfect and awesome. That would be what I recommend to everybody. But if you can't afford that, you can always get silver or bronze. Bronze is 27, silver's 57. But even if you can't afford that, I still have free resources. So many people have been able to pass under the free resources section. We have the YouTube channel, just listen to the playlist over and over again. We have the Facebook study group where you can actually scroll through and read other people's posts and get, I have a lot of videos in there that are not necessarily on YouTube. I just go live on Facebook. I had the most recent videos I put in the Facebook group are me solving a math problem. Somebody posted a question and they're like, I don't understand how this is the answer. And I just made a quick video explaining how to do that question. So the Facebook study group is packed with resources. And then we also have Kahoot games. So these are like practice tests in a game format, and it's really fun. You do have to create a Kahoot account, but you don't have to pay anything. And then you can just play these games by yourself. And then we also have student notes. So you can read these notes. Like if you're struggling with homeowners and dwelling, I have a 13-page document of notes available that you can read, written in my easy to understand language, all for free on the website. So we have free resources, we have cheap resources, and we have more higher. I think Platinum is probably the most expensive. Platinum is the ability to talk with me and ask me questions. So if you want to be able to get on the phone and be like, Melissa, I had this question. Can you please explain it to me? And then I send you a message back and I go, this is what it means. Here's what you need to do. Here's how it'll show up on the test. That is the Platinum option. And I believe Platinum is $597. And you have that for 100 days, plus you get the gold. And I'll give you all the boot camps and everything else. Platinum people get everything. I'll make sure you have everything. And so that's the $597. I don't think it says that, but you have everything. If you get Platinum, you get everything else, including boot camps, including the sessions with Dale, you get it all, okay? So yeah, we have about 9 minutes, so I can answer any questions. I'm gonna scroll through the chat, and if you can also unmute. First come, first serve. You unmute, you ask me a question, I got you. And Dale, if you want to come on and say anything, that's cool too.
Any advice on life and health for Kentucky?
Kentucky is really freaking tricky. So have you watched the Kentucky YouTube video?
Yes, and I've took the test a couple of times and not been successful, but I do have the Platinum, so I'm just keeping trying.
Have you? What's your name? Who's talking to me right now? Are you in Platinum? Are we talking?
Tabitha.
I haven't heard from you. Are you sure you got Platinum? Like you're in the chat room?
I think so.
I don't think you're in my chat. I haven't had a life or health chat since June 21st. So if you have, inside Platinum, there is a start here and you click there, you got to join the actual chat room because you're not in the chat. If you're in the chat room, you and I would have been talking a lot.
Okay, I'll do that.
So on your dashboard, go to the Platinum dashboard and there's a link to join the Telegram group and you want to click that. And then that way you get into the Platinum chat room and you can ask me questions. But Kentucky Life and Health is tricky. You've got to know everything. So I highly recommend my videos for Kentucky, so you can just watch them on repeat.
I have a question about the live life and health boot camp. Is
Yes.
that going to be recorded, or is it just strictly live?
So it'll be live and recorded, and then you will have 100 days access to the recordings as well, plus the regular gold. So
Yeah.
you will have gold with my handwriting whiteboard notes, and you will have the recordings with the beautiful presentations that we've made. So you will have both for 100 days.
I'm doing my PNC now. I work for State Farm at corporate doing claims, and I realized claims, I do total loss claims, and I realized claims isn't really for me. So I had to surrender when I started, surrender my PNC to get the adjusters. So I got like 3 or 4 adjusters, and now I have to retest for my PNC to go into an agent's office, which I'm gonna do that Thursday on July 4th. So as soon as I pass that morning, I'm gonna sign up for that life and health, because I need that also.
Perfect. Yes, that would be awesome.
So twice passing the PNC on the first time with you.
Yes, that's awesome. Yes. And then if you already have gold, so I think I saw this question. You already have $97 gold, but you want the boot camp or you want to work with Dale. There is a coupon in gold, probably one of the last lessons that there is a coupon in there where if you click it, it will allow you to deduct the 97 you've already paid off of the videos, the whatever package you want to get.
But that's for just the PNC. So I have to pay the full 197 for the life and health.
No, there's a life and health boot camp, and there should be a coupon inside gold that will get you 97 off the boot camp.
Even
50 because it's 2 days or something like that. I don't know. There's a coupon in there.
Yeah, so I have PNC now.
Oh, yes. If you don't have life and health at all, yes. But you're going to get gold plus the boot camp. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I was answering a question where someone said, I already got gold. Yes. Each line is its own separate thing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so Lisa asked, what if we already did gold and want the boot camp? There is a coupon in gold where you can take the 97 you paid off the price of the boot camp. Yeah.
Any specific advice for Wyoming PNC?
What Wyoming PNC? What about that?
Any specific advice?
I don't think Wyoming
next Tuesday.
I don't think Wyoming was Wisconsin. No, Wisconsin's the weird one. I think Wyoming. I don't hear a lot about Wyoming, so I think it's not crazy exam. So I would go to the gold website, scroll to Wyoming, and read about it. But Wyoming, other than being really expensive for your license, I haven't heard a lot about Wyoming. So that means it's not a bad state if I haven't heard a lot about it.
Okay. Thanks.
The North Carolina regulations, that's the part I keep failing.
It's
the
tough.
Laws and regulations.
Yes. So in all of my class series packages, I have a state regulations video where I teach about the Department of Insurance. I teach about rules about your licensing. I teach about unfair trade practices. I teach about the director and the rules. And so I give you a basic understanding of all the state law stuff, but then you will have to study your state approved course and you have to memorize numbers. And then I give you some tricks and some tips in the state regulations video that's in all the class series about how to tackle that chapter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, the state law is a little tricky. All right, if you Stephanie and Linza, you guys have your hands raised, just unmute and
Linda was first. Go ahead.
Hi, it's Linda. But it's
okay.
like Linda. It's part of my email. But anyways, yeah, they gave me like 2 weeks to pass this for this new department, and it's been freaking me out. So I think I failed twice because I'm freaking out. So I've been calm. I was really confident this last time, but I went ahead and purchased the Missouri Cram Course Bundle for Life and Health. Is that something that's? I mean, I just went.
Who's it with?
It's with you.
The
Missouri
okay. I don't have state specific. So
okay.
Yes. Okay. So you just got that?
Yeah, I just bought that today.
Okay, perfect. So watch that on repeat. And
Okay.
specifically pay attention to provisions. Because
is what-
provisions is a double
Maybe-
dipper
Okay. Okay.
on
Perfect.
the life and health overlap a lot. So a lot of the concepts in life are similar to health. And the most common topics for those are going to be like completing the application, the process of completing the app, field underwriting, and
Yes.
then contract law, the 4 elements of a contract, and
Okay.
then provisions. And if you can make those your focus, you're going to be in a good spot.
All right. Perfect. Those are all the ones that I need to actually study on.
Yeah, I create my package. Like I have looked at so many score sheets, right? Like people who have failed score sheets. So much of what I do and how I do it has been based on analyzing score sheets.
Absolutely. And then so I'm taking my test at 4 a.m. because they're rushing me on it. But yeah, so that's what got the cram course.
I'm
So
sending you all the labs and
I've
all
got
the
this.
vibes
I
back the
know.
exam. You
So
got
I got
this. You got this.
provisions. I got it. Okay. I wrote it all down. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, Stephanie, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm also crash coursing-ish. I've actually been in my company for 2 years. We didn't have to be licensed. I handle all the Northeast states that don't require licenses. And then randomly, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna lose your job if you don't do this." And I'm like, "Oh, like, are you serious?" And I have top metrics at my job. Like, I'm amazing at my job. I can't lose my job. So I do total losses. So I bought your gold package a few moments ago, and I'm taking it online through Pearson View, which is what we have on
Yeah.
Friday morning. What is South Carolina like? I heard it's a B word, to be honest. It's a
South
bitch. I'm sorry.
Carolina
This is what it is.
Okay. Technically, South Carolina just recently switched. They were using a company called Prometric, but you scheduled your test with a company called Pearson, right?
Pearson View. Yeah, like the ones that make the textbooks. Yeah.
Yes. Now that it is Pearson View, it's going to be much easier.
Okay.
So Pearson View has a much friendlier outline than a Prometric outline.
Yeah, because they gave us Adjuster Pro, and I cannot stand Adjuster Pro. It is the devil, and I just can't keep it. I am so bored. Like, I am very good at organizing. I'm fast paced, like ADHD. So watching this Adjuster Pro, it's been a month. They told me I have 2 months to pass, and I have done nothing for a month. Like, no crap. I've done nothing because I cannot focus. It's so boring.
Yeah. So you're doing PNC or adjusting?
I'm a total loss adjuster for my company. So I'm guessing it's just the adjuster 911 series test that I have to take for
Okay.
South Carolina.
A big chunk of the information will just be property and casualty.
It's homeowners from what I've been
Yes.
noticing. And that's
Yes.
crap. I hate it.
If my videos are way better than anything out on the market. Okay. They're
Okay.
fun, they're exciting, it makes you laugh,
Right.
they're silly stuff. So watch those videos and you're gonna feel way more comfortable about the information.
Co-insurance is like the worst thing. And I'm sure everybody feels that way. Co-insurance sucks.
I hate co-insurance.
I'm bad at math. So I was concerned, and that was my question to you. I know in the level when you go in to take your test, they allow calculators. How about like through the online module from home? How does that work? Have you heard of that?
Most states allow you to have a calculator. I don't know, some states don't, but
Okay.
most states allow you to have a calculator. But I show you how to do the math. The best videos for co-insurance are actually in gold. So with the videos that you just got,
Okay.
I'm gonna help you out.
Right. So if I don't pass this Friday, but God forbid I'm gonna pass, don't worry. If I don't, and I want to do your boot camp on the 20th, where do I go in the gold to sign up for just the boot camp? I was looking and I literally cannot find it. I'm like, where am I going?
Let me double check because I'm not always
Okay.
the one who does everything, but it should be one of the last classes.
I did see like on the paper, because my friend got in before me, and it says if you have gold, you can go into your account, open gold, and find the link. I don't know. I just can't find it. I've been digging.
All right, hang on. Let me find it.
And I'm sorry, take up your time. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to get through it.
Hey, that gold coupon is in your list. It's like kind of at the top for that coupon. It's
That's,
probably
oh,
about
it's at the
4.
top. Okay.
It's kind of like 4 or 5 down where it
Oh,
shows.
yeah. Okay, I see it. All right, here it is. Hang on 1 second. Let me show you guys.
Okay,
Okay. So screen 3. Okay.
because
All
I
right.
paid the 159 already.
Oh, you know what? We may not have that coupon in the adjusters. I
Okay.
need to add that. Let me.
Well, I didn't know if I was supposed to do the adjusters or the PNC. I didn't know which one to choose. I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, you're right. But the boot camp will help you with the adjusters too.
Okay.
Let me where's my.
So what's the difference between the adjusters and just the PNC Gold? I mean, I didn't know which one to take because I was like, well, let's just choose it.
Hang on 1 second.
My adjusters test through Adjusters Pro was not proctored. Is yours proctored?
Mine is not through Adjuster Pro, unfortunately. My friends in Texas was through Adjuster Pro, but in South Carolina, everything's through Pearson View. They don't do it all within Adjuster Pro. That's only the pre-licensing through Adjuster Pro in South Carolina.
Are you working for State Farm?
No, I work for National General.
Oh, okay. Because
Or
we had to do
Allstate.
ours. We had to do ours with State Farm, and we were not proctored, and we were doing it at home. So
Yeah,
it was a little bit easier being not
we
proctored.
are. We get to be watched, but we don't get to see them from what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled about that. Now, Texas is crazy from what I've heard. My friend did Texas, and you can either be proctored or you can have your neighbor sign and notarize a paper saying that you didn't cheat, which I think is wonderful. That way, no one's watching you and you're in the comfort of your own home. That sounds amazing. We don't have that option.
Okay, sorry. I'm making sure it's in there, but somebody says that it is in there, the coupon, but it may be
Okay.
like at the top somewhere. And if it's not, you can always email support@Insurance Exam Queen and we'll get you some help.
Okay, yeah, I just want to be able to get in. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I know there are more of you that have questions. I gotta go because I got the baby, so I try to end right at the hour. I will put this up on YouTube so you guys can watch this again if you have any other questions, and then you can also email us at support@insuranceexamqueen.com. Keep in mind we don't tutor via email, so if you ask us like exam questions, we can't necessarily help you, but you can help you with understanding what to study, what to do, things like that, or how we can help you. Make sure you join the Facebook group and get support. That is a really amazing place to answer any of your questions. So any of the questions you got right now that we haven't answered, put them in the Facebook group. One big thing about the Facebook group is you have to put hashtag, okay? So if you're Florida property and casualty, you need to do hashtag FL, hashtag state Florida, hashtag PC for the property casualty exam, whatever your state or exam is. We will deny any posts that do not have hashtags. So make sure you put those in there. I am sending you guys all the love, all the vibes to pass the exam. I love you so much. Have an amazing evening. And I'm going to head on off to go hang out with my family. Have an amazing day. Bye.